44 and up. They've been stride for stride throughout their careers.
Check left hook. A check left hook went right into it. You never saw it.
Born and raised in Grand Rapids, Michigan, Mayweather had to overcome many obstacles to earn the right to where he is today, an undefeated world champion in boxing. From witnessing his dad supplying drugs to his mother, clearly robbed at the '96 Olympics, to having numerous criminal convictions. Love or loathe the flamboyant Floyd Money Mayweather, there's a lot we can all learn from his meteoric success in and out of the ring. There's no ignoring what he's managed to achieve, not only in rising to the top of arguably one of the world's most demanding sports, mentally and physically, but as a businessman with his ever-thriving empire. Mayweather is one of the wealthiest athletes in the world, and he's only getting richer. Did you know that Mayweather overcame a disturbed childhood to become who he is today? What do you love or dislike him for? Let us know in the comment section below. Watch this video to the end to learn more about the legendary boxer. Here are the attributes that made Floyd Mayweather a superstar, undefeated king of the ring. Number 1. Self-confidence and belief. Mayweather often shouts as he stings his opponent with a stiff jab right through the guard into his opponent's nose, evading any counterattack his opponents put forth. After landing his pinpoint precise shots, he moves around the ring, laughing and mocking his opponent at every pivot and punishing him with counter shots at will. Nope, he pronounces to his opponent when they land a decent punch, indicating they didn't have any effect on him, as he laughs and responds with a stiff right hand of his own, followed by an accurate flurry of body and head shots. If you've never witnessed it, it's something to admire at Floyd Mayweather's sparring sessions. Brutal but beautiful displays of boxing craft is displayed after decades of training, blood, sweat, and tears on Mayweather's part to get to this level of mastery. But aside from his superior boxing ability, there's something much stronger to be taken away from and learned from Floyd Mayweather, which is often overlooked: his incredible self-confidence and self-belief, which is a big part of that seemingly have to do with his self-talk. Number 2. Mental mastery of the game. When Floyd is training, it's not uncommon for everyone in his camp to be cheering him on while he rips the heavy bag with crisp hooks, skipping rope with the rhythm and beauty of a good dancer, or when he's putting on a boxing clinic with one of his sparring partners. Everyone in the gym is on his side, and they all shout motivating phrases at the top of their lungs during camp: harder, work, dedication, and other Mayweather monikers that keep the champ going. Floyd himself seems to know the importance of this and has truly internalized and mastered the mental game of boxing, just as much as the physical part. Just as he's a master of his sport, he also seems to be a true master of his mind as well. In a sport as ruthless and unforgiving as boxing, any shred of doubt or lack of confidence is all that's needed to lose a fight and get yourself seriously injured in the process. Mayweather doesn't give himself any slack or chance to indulge in negative thoughts, and he achieves this by talking to himself positively over and over and over again. This evidence is clear in his training videos. You'll hear him speaking to himself about how nobody can beat him, 50 tried, 50 failed, how he's too dedicated, too strong, too smart, all work is easy work. There's not a sliver of negative self-talk in his verbal repertoire aimed at himself. It's all positive and set in strength, and he says it constantly, seemingly every time he trains. There's something profound to be taken from Floyd in this sense: that undying self-belief that has propelled him to where he is now through how he speaks to and about himself. If you're going to do anything of greatness, whether it's a personal project, starting a business, or anything in between, you have to start with a solid foundation of self-belief. Otherwise, you'll flounder at the first sign of hardship and go right back to where you started. Floyd seems to have instilled this in his training just as much as hitting the heavy bag with pinpoint precision. His new thought processes seem to be by intentional nurturing and design, as should your self-talk and beliefs. Number 3. Ability to adapt. In the ring, Floyd has had some brutal fights. He's lost some rounds and has been clocked and hit hard a few times, which is inevitable in the sport. But every single time, he has found a way to come back and win. This is partly due to his thinking. He has never counted himself out of any fight. He is consistently mentally winning, or in his mind, has already mentally won. There's something to be taken from this. When difficult things in life hit you hard, It isn't so much the hit, it's how you react afterwards. Do you crumble? Do you let it bother you for a while? Or do you bounce right back? I think the noble and righteous goal for all of us should be to jump right back and keep going. Number 4. Gratitude. On camera, Mayweather never forgets to mention how thankful he is to God, family, and friends, and acknowledges his success is down to his loyal team. Look upon other boxers today, and you'll likely find the number of trainers, hand wrap specialists, strength and condition coaches have switched over the years. Although he may be the celebrity in the camp, Floyd is open to investing time and money for his people if they're up for exploring entrepreneurial opportunities in their own rights. Number 5. Freedom. A man brought up with the love of money, influenced by his father who used to bring home hard chunks of cash from street dealing. Mayweather is never shy of exposing his daily spendings and wins from gambling. However, being smart, he's aware of the number of boxers and other athletes who eventually become broke. Even after earning over 8 figures in the sport, he broke the rules and decided he no longer wanted to have someone above him making the decisions. He sacked his promoters and started his own company, Mayweather Promotions, a risk many boxers wouldn't dare to step in. Floyd hired an intelligent businessman, Al Heyman, to plan out strategic moves. Thankfully, it's paid off. Every fight announced, Mayweather is in control of the finance. He takes 100% of the revenue, continues to build a reputation for his promotions, and is even in charge of paying his opponent. Number 6. Self-resilient. Mayweather picked up a bronze medal at the '96 Olympics in Atlanta after a controversial loss against the Bulgarian boxer, Serafim Todorov. Also, at the beginning of his professional career, he was without his trainer and father, Floyd Mayweather Sr., who was imprisoned for drug trafficking. Many obstacles could have halted the champ's success, yet he managed to come out on top. Although known to have a big mouth, Floyd never fails to back it up, from setting the 3 biggest non-heavyweight pay-per-view events in the sport's history to defeating undefeated champions at the time, most notably Ricky Hatton. Number 7. Unmatched work ethic. Dominating the sport of boxing for over 20 years takes some serious delayed gratification. From a very young age, Mayweather had consistently made choices that limited the ability to get something quick for the path of achieving something bigger and better. Backed by his desirable work ethic, as though he never gets tired, he can spend unpredictably early hours in a fitness gym before tearing down the heavy bag with over 10,000 punches the following day. Floyd Mayweather fans and haters alike can all agree on one thing. There's no denying his incessant, intense work ethic to becoming a stronger, smarter, and better boxer. He may sometimes portray a party bachelor lifestyle, but behind the scenes, he's a true machine and sets a very high standard of hard work for others to follow. His discipline is constant. He trains like a man possessed, eats a very strict diet, doesn't drink alcohol, and doesn't gain some in-between weight fights as many boxers do. Mayweather is also forever a student of boxing, constantly tweaking, improving, analyzing his techniques and strategies, and bettering himself in and out of the ring. His fluidity and ability to continually adapt is a huge reason why he stayed at the very top of his game for so long. Number 8. Always stay hungry. What separates the good from the great, the successful from the highly successful, the Mayweathers from the long list of good boxers? It all comes down to superior desire and drive. When some athletes, musicians, actors, business people, and other successful people reach a certain level of success, they can become complacent and lose some of their drive. But the true greats retain their relentless attitude to keep pushing their limits to see what's possible and go down in history forever. Floyd Mayweather has more money than he knows what to do with. He's accomplished more in his sport than most in history. Yet his hunger is still as intense today as someone who is just starting from the bottom. He says he's retired, but never believes such a thing from Mr. Moneyman. Apart from those traits we talked about, speed, defense, and accuracy are other attributes that have made Floyd Mayweather Jr. boxing's top pound-for-pound fighter, biggest pay-per-view draw, and the most challenging opponent to game plan against. It isn't Floyd's business acumen that made him the man he is today. Instead, it is his drive, passion, and dedication to his craft that put him among the most successful people in the world.